Market recap for Tuesday, December 7th. Let's go.
This is Dan Max, the trading agent. This is a stock trading and recap channel that I wanted to share to the masses. In a probability game, there's no certainty. Here are my insights and predictions.
This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the trading agent, with a stock market review for December 7th, Tuesday, 2021. Stocks, Bitcoin, commodities, everything recap. I hope everyone had a great day. There's a lot to talk about, and I'll try to make this as quick as possible. If you haven't, please check out the Discord room that we chat a lot in. There's a lot of people involved during the day, tons of stuff to chat about. Never ends. A lot of great information intraday to help you stay on top of what's going on in the market. And please like, subscribe, comment. Any interaction is appreciated with the video. Help build the algorithm and give me more reason to do more videos to help people out. Also, the Back to Beginner series is great. Let's jump into it. Bitcoin. We talked about this on the flush out on the weekend recap that, 6 billion plus nominal value of trading accounts got blown out. That's usually the bottom. I mean, especially short term when you know that the market has literally just puked its face off. Large volume, long wick, and now we're bouncing. We talked about this. If you could buy this anywhere in the 46 to 47,000 area, you were living life good. We talked about this retest being pretty solid. Maybe you get a retest down here, but as of right now, you have higher highs and higher lows potentially forming. I would look at the next support around 50,000 to buy. Just have stops. Everyone knows Bitcoin is volatile. Just is what it is. Keep it simple. TLT. What did we say? We'd get over the resistance zone and we'd get into this blue area. We hit it on Friday, been backing off. So I think we could hold the 150 area on the TLT. I don't think bond rates are going to be going higher. I know everyone anticipates inflation, but let's be honest. They've been controlling the rates for years, and at this point, I don't see that game ending. I think the rates will hold tight, and you'll ultimately see the market rising. When the market and the rates diverge, that's when I think you're going to have more issues. That's the thing that I'd be watching. When the rates in the TLT drop dramatically and the market dumps, then. But so far, seems to be holding up. Market loves low rates. We're still historically very low compared to when I started trading in what seemed like dinosaur times. Dollar. We hit this resistance zone. If I zoom out, you could see why. Just trust me. It's also the 0.382. Today's candle was interesting. You got a gap up and close at the low with big volume. That to me says something. The volume and the action says sell. Let's see if it confirms the next couple days, but that's what that might be the lower high that ends up being the smash to lower prices. Again, 20-day and upper trend line. I said we were going to retest at some point. It's just a matter of time. What we do from there is going to be the key. That will tell you what's up. Oh, the VIX. We talked about that last week. This was not a crush level. Markets did not need to be at these levels. We just got very complacent and people got washed out quickly. Well, what do you notice now? Oh, coming back down into this area, which I would say if you are a SPY bear, I mean, you better get a pop in the VIX off of the 20 level. If not, you're in shitstorm. I mean, the market just went from oversold, overbought very quickly. I see some chop coming up. I mean, if you look at my, I apologize. Let's get into the Discord room because I dropped this link and information about seasonality earlier. I apologize. I didn't pull this up, but I was just thinking about it. This is what you should be paying attention to. December, warning season. Remember, expect profit taking between the 5th and the 8th, and then bottom going up into the end of the month. These entry points, 15 to 22nd, I don't know necessarily if you would look for the buy then. I would be looking for the buy now going into the Santa Claus rally. That's just my thoughts on it. Looks like the SPY, because we'll get into that next. When the VIX spiked on Friday, you had this action where you tested the 100-day, and now we popped. We're back over the 20-day, and what's scary is you have this wick that closed, which you can't find intraday, and I hate this because if you look at the SPY, there is no gap fill. Somehow they painted the chart to fill the gap on the SPY. This is complete bullshit. I don't know what causes this, but the 20-day is the key for the bulls. So if you stay over the 20-day and the VIX stays in the lower 20s, I think we go right back up to new highs. And it could be quickly. That's just all. I mean, I didn't get to buy down here. and I'm not going to buy in between because I know it can be choppy, but this is what, I mean, the back to basic videos, we talked about this. You just don't chase. Let trades come to you. If I'm going to short, I'll wait for the upper range. Just that simple. And if I was going to buy, you got to let the bottom drop out. I honestly thought we'd get a retest, but I don't know everything with certainty, and neither does anyone else. So Q's got ripping today, and they're back over the 20-day. We talked about this little blue zone being one of the potential first target zones. It seems to have held. I'd be watching this 400 range. I think we get there sooner than later. What happens from there, that's going to be the key. Just keep it that simple. Gold, I mean, I'm screaming to buy down here in this blue zone. I thought the 100, 250 day, this whole mishmash was a good spot to buy in the 167s. Well, you got even better in the 164 uppers, 165. That was even better. Back testing this old trend line. You can see it right here. I like it. I mean, you have a double bottom, higher low now potentially here. It doesn't make sense why they're selling it other than potentially tax loss selling and harvesting, which I could see. We'll see. We'll get into that later in the mid-December because that's usually when that tax loss harvesting is, and also I guess even this week because you know 30-day wash rule, all those things come into play. But we'll see what happens here. The SLV, I'm screaming again, no-brainer buy zone. You can see it on the screen. If you got into the mid-20s, anything even under 21 is just a gift at this point. I like it. I think we're going to rally back. Silver is just so stupidly cheap. I know they're going to play the paper game. Wall Street bet silver. Reddit board is great talking about how JP Morgan manipulates that market. At some point, they will get roasted for playing the game. It's like Livermore and his stories about coffee when they controlled the coffee price and then they exploded after they stopped. I think we're, in that phase. Jump into the GDX because this is another one we were talking about. Might be a buy down here. We said anywhere. You can see it better on the weekly chart. This 30-31 area is, to me, a good buying zone. I know this trend line kind of sucks now. It didn't really seem as important as it should, but yeah, this area is very important. You can pull into the monthly on the GDX, and you can see we're right back where it IPO'd in 2026 or 2006. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you can see it in this blue zone. This is crazy how. Anyway, to me it's a buy down here. Just be careful, have stops. It's rallied back nicely since hitting the 30 level. I started buying in the 31 mids, and I don't see any reason to get out. I'll have my stops accordingly but I know the miners can be incredibly volatile when they bottom and at the highs and at the lows. GDXJ, you can see what's going on here. And again, I apologize. This is not my trading computer charts. I have an 8-screen computer with unlimited viewage, so I can see everything. And I have to record the videos on this computer because if not, I haven't figured out how to get the screens to look right. Anyway, you can see retesting the 40 level. Looks like a smoking buy. Higher high, higher lows. Same thing with GDX, SLV. Higher highs, higher lows off the bottom. That is transitioning into an uptrend. How long does that last? We will see. AG, this one was, we said, man, if you got anywhere under 11, this is a freaking screaming gift. You retested the lows, and boing, it bounces up. Nice gap up and go today. The volume isn't great, but I like the action. That's all you really need to pay attention to. Good old KL here. We said, anywhere down in this blue zone. It got a little lower and wicked out of it. Higher highs, higher lows. Looks good. Going back, watch when it happens when getting in the 40s range. It might hold tight for a minute, meaning a couple days. AEM, we said the back test of all these channels and trend lines was a screaming, absolute screaming buy. I won't scream on the microphone, but yeah, that's what it is. Just, man, if you can get some of these stocks at just the bottoms are just, was it Sabane, Stillwater? Said double bottom here. This is looking good. I know action wasn't great today, but you're back over the 8 and the 10 day. I like it. Double bottom. This little gap down and doji is typically how you bottom. You want to see bottoms. Looks good. Let's move on to Pan American Silver. PAAS. Head and shoulders. Left shoulder. Head. Right shoulder. Looks okay to me. The volume isn't great. I'd like to see more volume coming off the highs, or off the lows. I apologize. But if we do not rise with good volume here, maybe this is what I would say considered a big monster shakeout. I mean, look at this. Just shake, 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 shake. Shake, 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 shake. Head and shoulders bottom down here. I know that some of these companies have international risk, but they're sitting on loads of silver and gold. That's going to be worth something at some point. We'll see what happens. These trades are hard sometimes because they don't happen as fast as you want. U.S. Steel. This looks good. It hit our little chop zone and then popping, hit the 200-day today. I said if you didn't get the low, wait for it to break the downtrend. Well, you bounced, you pulled back, you didn't buy. You got to let it break the downtrend. Just keep it that simple. VALE, we've been screaming about this one because this came out, this double bottom. We said, look at the volume down here, capitulating. Then you had a gap down, exhaustion, new low, and then you proceeded to rise and said anywhere on the 20-day was a gift. Got up to 14 today. The action wasn't great, but I don't care. If you're buying down 11 and 12s, you're happy to see higher highs and higher lows. Today's action may have been telling of a short-term chop, maybe 50-day, but there's nothing really scary with it at all. AMD, this is interesting because, you're going to see a lot of these red upper trend lines, whatever we call them. I said, if you're not taking profits up here, you're going to regret it. Yeah, you got smashed. 20 days next. Just assume 20-day, 150s. Watch what happens there. If it can't get over that, you've got pain. I'm going to put out another alert on Apple because we talked about when it broke the downtrend anywhere, it was going to probably test the upper trend line. Here we are again. Now, this is what is so hard to get people to see is like, hey, you should be taking profit here. Take whatever percentage you want. Sell covered calls, hedge, whatever the best strategy is for you. The easy money's taken. Now, how much higher could it go? Could it get up to 173? It's always possible. But if you don't take profits, they get taken. That's a strong move. 148 to 171. That's pretty solid for Apple. Apple 123 up to 149. $25, $30 in Apple is typically what you're going to get out of it before it starts chopping. And when I mean chop, maybe it bases, maybe it pulls back, whatever you want to call it. It's the easy money. Don't let it be taken from you. Just promise me. If you have Apple and you made good money, take your profit because you're going to see where, we talked about if you got up here and then it started failing. Once it broke the 20-day, you had to go, which sucks because if you bought it at the 560 range, you probably should have been selling a little up at the highs. And if you didn't, then you sold here, you still made 200 points. But then it went completely back to where it started, which that's trading. Anyone acting like stocks only go one direction all the time, you're just, you're smoking grass. And in Colorado, you can do that, but smoking grass doesn't make you a better trader. I liked it. We talked about this yesterday. I think Scott on the Discord room was looking at this. He said, whoa, testing the fifth, the retesting the September low. Looks to have held. If Bitcoin holds, I think MicroStrategy will bounce. I think anywhere under 600 becomes a solid risk reward. Don't buy a ton of shares, but leverage it correctly. I think you got a pretty good trade coming. Oh, RIVN, I still have you buried down here because you're not ready for the prime time. But I will say, if you got anywhere down in the under 100 range, you're pretty happy with the action so far. I'd like to see, some more chop out, maybe 105, 106. Set your alarm, be there when it gets there, maybe trade it. You've got to define risk reward. Oh, Tesla, man, this is one that gets so many people confused. And I said, I hope you're taking profits up here. I deleted the fib extensions, which were here because I think it's finally topped. So now we're fib retracements. And what did we say? I did an alert, said had to hold 1,000. Yesterday's action was definitely a washout short term, so I'm not surprised it bounced. But the 20-day is going to be the key. Please watch the 20-day in red. Draw your charts. Put the 20-day on. You got to get over that. And if you really want to see a major breakout, break this downtrend. That's going to be the key for Tesla. Anything between this is going to be chop. It's going to be sloppy. It's going to piss you off. And if you got options, they're going to take your money, especially if you're buying them. Maybe selling them, you're doing good. PENN was interesting. Got up to the 20-day today. It's in my buy zone. Yeah, I bought higher initially and then said, I'm going to watch this thing because I saw this big capitulation day and we've gone a little lower. That's normal. But I've been adding lower and I've got my cost basis at a range that I'm willing to hold. And I also have some call options that are like lottery tickets at this point where I have a defined risk. And if I lose, I'm wrong on them. It's okay. I like the upside. I like the potential here to get back in the 70s, maybe even 90s, 100 range. That's a great risk reward if you're buying at 50. Just have your stops. EXP, we put an alert on this for the parent company of my realty business. We said if you get anywhere down in this 33, 34 range, it was a buy. Nice pop, got back over the 8-day. As of right now, I mean, add dips. I like it. I mean, I know it's not insider trading. I know the company's doing well. That's just what it is. You know, fundamentals don't always line up with a stock market action or stock action, but company is pretty revolutionary. They're doing great stuff, you know. We'll see what happens. Don't trust me. Just trust your stops. If you're wrong, you're out. If it works, you're great. Let's end it on the oil names because this is what was interesting today. Oil, you know, XOP got back up to the 20-day and the 100-day area, and it closed under it. Ooh, 20-day. Here's an example. 20-day mattered there, mattered on that day. You got to get over the 20-day and then the 50-day because now that they're crossing, you know, people call this like the death cross sometimes, but it doesn't necessarily like that. By the time people notice this stuff, it's usually too late. ExxonMobil, what do we say? 100-day, 200-day. Look where we hit. We hit the trend line. I said if it breaks over this trend line, then you can go long it. We didn't break it. I mean, if you watch Apple had a downtrend line, and it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days before it broke out. That kind of stuff is normal. People hate it. They want it to happen right now, but wait for the trend line to break. And when it breaks, it'll break with volume, and then you can go. And that's exactly what Apple did, because this is a great example of breaking a trend with volume. Notice what happened here. Flat, flat, flat volume, chop, chop, chop. Boom. Break the volume, break the trend line, volume expands. All right, well, I hope this helps. I mean, come by the Discord room again. I mean, there's so much to know. There's a lot of free content that I'm posting. If you have questions, don't be scared to ask. I'll help you out. So if you've watched this far, please subscribe. Check out other videos that are going to be popping up here on the end screen. And hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you guys.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like the content. Also smash the like button, share with your friends, and add a comment. If there's a topic or stock you'd like me to give you insight about, let me know in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer your question. Thanks.